Meanwhile, President Biden expected to launch his re-election campaign tomorrow morning. You might see that video that by the time we come on the air. This despite some pretty dismal poll numbers, Dana. One survey shows 70% of Americans, that includes 51% of Democrats, do not want him to do this. Marc Thiessen's here on that. How you doing, Marcus? Good morning to you. Here is what the NBC poll found. Nearly half of those who say Biden shouldn't run cite his age as a major reason why. On screen, guys, there it is. 48% is a major reason. More fuel on the fire here. New York Times, Biden should take voters' concerns about age seriously. It writes concerns about age, both in terms of fitness for office and being out of touch with the moment, are legitimate. End quote there. To you, Mr. Thiessen, how do you see it?
He's incredibly vulnerable. I mean, with those numbers like that, he should be dead on arrival as a presidential candidate. I mean, it's at 54. I think his disapproval now is 54%, which is very high, and 70% of voters don't want him to run again. The problem is, in that same poll, 60% of voters don't want Donald Trump to run again. So voters are sending a very clear message. They want different choices. They don't want a Trump-Biden rematch. So what happens if we force them to have that Trump-Biden rematch? Well, the Wall Street Journal poll last week has the answer. It said that among voters who disapprove of both Biden and Trump, Biden wins by 54 to 15%. So what that means is swing voters who dislike Joe Biden dislike Trump even more. And so if we force the problem for the Republicans is to win the election, they got to get all those voters who disapprove of Joe Biden to vote for the Republican nominee. And Donald Trump is like a get out of jail free card for Joe Biden for all the political consequences of his serial disasters in office that we should be wrapping around his neck. Republicans should be wrapping around his neck like an albatross.
Okay, so what NBC points out is that if you have a Trump-Biden rematch, you would have what they consider a potentially divisive and uninspiring general election rematch. If that's the case, you get low turnout. And Kellyanne Conway was making the point on the big show on Sunday that Joe Biden needs a big turnout in order to win. We'll see whether or not that's the case. Back to NBC, call for number 3. NBC News survey finds a combined 41% of registered voters saying they definitely or probably vote for Biden in the general versus 47% who say they'd vote for the eventual Republican nominee. Square that with what you just described there, Mark.
Yeah, well, it depends on who that nominee is. It depends on if that's a nominee who they dislike more than Joe Biden. I mean, just look at the last midterms, which was sort of a proxy election, right? So Joe Biden is literally the most unpopular president in the history of polling, since going back all the way to Harry Truman. And he won he had the best midterm performance of any president going back to John F. Kennedy, except for Bush after the 9/11 attacks. That wasn't because voters approved of Biden, it's because they disapproved of the alternative, because we put up so many of these nominees who were, their number one qualification was echoing Trump's election denial. So what this shows is we got to listen to these swing voters. This election is going to be decided by about 200,000 people in 5 states. Swing voters who are going to decide this. It's not going to be decided by Democratic primary voters or Republican primary voters, so they've got to turn out. The swing voters are going to decide this, and they're sending a very clear signal. They don't want either Trump or Biden. And so if Democrats are going to have Biden. So if Republicans choose somebody other than Trump, and don't get me wrong, he was a great president, but he's made himself toxic to those swing voters. If we choose somebody else, then we can make Biden own all the disasters that he's unleashed on the southern border, on the economy, on inflation, on gas prices. That's the way to make him own it.
I think that comment about 200,000 voters in 5 states, I think it's very interesting. It's something we'll watch. It may be fewer than 200,000. Mark, thank you. Nice to see you. Marc Thiessen on Monday morning. Thank you, Mark. Talk to you later in the week. I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.